All right. Welcome back, everybody. It is December 12th. I can't believe it. We've just about cooked 2024. We're about to put it behind us. That is amazing. I guess I'm not even sharing my video there. There I am. So 2024 was a pretty spectacular year. And I got to tell you, the biggest reason that it was spectacular for me was I did finally what I've been telling you guys to do for so long. I actually did something. And those of you that have been following along for the year, you got to watch. I've been saying all this stuff of, if you want to be successful, if you want to grow your business, this is all you have to do. And, I did that for years. And then I actually, every once in a while, I'll second guess myself and think, wow, does that shit really still work? And I'm telling everybody it does, so I better prove it. So that was this year. 2024 was me proving, yeah, it does work. And, and here in let me look at the calendar and see how many weeks we got left here. We've got pretty much one more week. I don't know if you guys want to do a call right the day after Christmas. I doubt it. So we really got like one more week here to really wrap this year up. And you all know, well, some of you are new, so welcome to the new guys, Brian, James. Great to be here. Great to be here with you guys. What we do every year at the end of the year is we do a year-end review. And I'm going to send you guys a document and you can fill it out, you can put it aside, you can do whatever you want with it, but it's very revealing. It is a checklist for how you did. It's a scorecard in essence for 2024. And it's painful. When you start scoring yourself on all these things, I guarantee you, I almost guarantee you, I don't care how good you're doing, you're going to look at that and say, damn, I could have done a lot better. So, and most of it is super simple stuff. And you're going to kick yourself. You're going to go, damn it, why didn't I do that little thing? Because it could have such a big impact overall on your whole business. So we're going to do that. We'll do that next Thursday. And I will be on the boat next Thursday. So I'll be doing it from Newport Harbor. And that'll be kind of cool. But we're going to do it. We're going to go through the checklist. And not only is it a scorecard for your 2024, but what it is, it's a blueprint for 2025. Because when I did this in 2023 with you guys, it was painful for me. I was looking at him like, oh my God, I am absolutely pathetic because my scorecard really sucked. I hadn't been doing a lot of stuff. I had a customer base, so I wasn't hurting in any way. But, the more money I make, the more it just allows me to be lazy. And you guys know how lazy I really like to be. And unfortunately, I've kind of had my butt kicked this year because I haven't really been all that lazy this year. I've really been humping. You guys have seen all the products I've put out, all the things I've done, all the stuff that I've created, and it's been a really productive year. So again, proof in the pudding, it's not just about all the fancy ideas. We can all brainstorm, we can all have great ideas and all that. But until you put your feet to the fire, you're not going to move forward. That is really just all it comes down to. Uh, the other thing too with ACT, for those of you that are just joining ACT, ACT is really kind of the roadmap for success for any business. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how big or how small it is. Forbes magazine every year they put that article out. It's the same article every year. They keep reposting it, and it's true about, like 85 or 84, I don't remember the exact number, but it's in the high 80 percentile of people are going to go out of business in the first 18 months. So if you're starting a business, they're talking to you. They're basically telling you you are most likely going to go out of business in 18 months. If you talk to Tony Robbins, he'll make the odds even worse. He's going to stack them even harder against you. And he's going to say, that same business, if you hold on past 18 months, you can ride it out for 10 years and still fail. And he said, if you give that same person 10 years, 96% are going to fail. Can you imagine that? 96% of businesses will fail given 10 years. I mean, who in their right mind would go to Vegas and bet with 96% odds against you? That's like throwing your money away. And it's the same in business. Business is all about money. If you think it's not, I'm not sure what game you're playing, but business is about money. It's about moving money from one place to another, plain and simple. And the more you can move and the more you can pluck off that money that's being moved over your head, the more profitable you're going to be. So the trick really with ACT to make sure that you're not in that 96%, ACT can almost assure you you're going to be in the 4% if you follow the plan. And the biggest key to it is right in the beginning. It's the analysis. You should not be spending any money to build a business if you have not done the analysis yet. That is the key factor because I see this over and over and over. I've seen it my entire life. I've even participated in it many times before I figured this stuff out. If you don't have a profitable market segment, and when I first started in business, I didn't even know what a market segment was. I was just all gung ho and, fall on your face and dust yourself off and do it again and do it again. And I got to tell you, the older I got, the softer my head got. I really don't like bumping it anymore. So that's not fun. So the analysis, figuring out that you have a profitable segment is job number one. If you don't have a profitable segment, you should not be moving forward with a business. That's just plain and simple. That just throws you right into that bucket of failure, and you're going to fail. Because if you don't have a profitable segment, what you'll learn when you go through the ACT program is a profitable segment. You're going to learn what that is, for one, and the three key pieces to it. If you're missing any one of these pieces, you do not have a profitable segment. Piece number one is it's got to be big enough. The segment of people has to be big enough to support your sales goals. If you're trying to make $1 million a year, there's got to be enough people that are willing to give you that money for whatever you're providing to make that sales goal. And if there's not, then you don't have that box checked. Move on. Find one that does. Find one that checks all three boxes. The next box you got to check is what you're providing. Is there enough value that that segment is going to not only want it, but need it and hopefully not be able to live without it once you educate them? That box has to be checked. Because if they don't want it, they're not going to pay you for it. If you can't convey your value, they're not going to give you the money. And the third piece, the third and final check mark for the boxes is they have to have the money to give you. If they don't have the money, that box doesn't get checked. So unless you can check all three of those boxes, you are basing your business on a pipe dream. Just plain and simple. And I don't say this to crush people's dreams. I just want you to know that the thing you might think is a dream might actually be a nightmare. And that I do want to crush for you because I don't want you to wake up in the middle of the night in night terrors. And that's exactly what will happen 12, 16, 18 months in when you've burnt up all your money and you don't have a prayer of winning the game. I don't want anybody to wake up to that. And that is what will happen. If you don't start this puzzle with a profitable segment, I can almost guarantee that will be your outcome. No matter what else comes into the game, there'll be all kinds of stuff that comes into the game between now and then, but ultimately you're building your house on sand, and the tide's going to come in eventually and wash it away. So that is why the ACT program, the whole core foundation of it is so important. It's the way ad agencies work. That's where I got it. I wish I could tell you I was brilliant enough to come up with it by myself, but I didn't. I am just modeling what works. This has worked in ad agencies for well over 100 years, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. So build your business on solid ground. Do it the way ad agencies do it. I have seen this many times. I've worked with ad agencies for probably 40 years of my life. And in one capacity or another, when I started off, I was a commercial photographer. I got to sit in the boardrooms and I got to watch them create the ad campaigns. And then, they would turn to me and I would put this dream they came up with on film for them. That was what my studio did. So I learned a lot sitting in those boardrooms. And they followed the same process every time. And they started off with analysis. First piece, do we have a profitable market segment? And I got to tell you, as soon as they found out they didn't, here's what would happen. They would pump the brakes, they would call in a meeting, they would bring in the owner of the business, and they would break the news to them. They would say, here's what we discovered. This product's dead. Don't do it. And then they would say, here's also what we discovered. This market wants this. Build this product. They want it. And they got that from the analysis. They usually will pull in ideal customers. They have a very stringent process of finding people to interview and put in these focus groups. They actually call them focus groups. And they pay people, they pay them for their opinions. But for you to be paid for your opinion, you have to take this very, very long survey so they can make sure that you are the ideal customer. Here's something that's very dangerous: getting feedback from people that are not your ideal customer. You have to get feedback. Like if you're going to ask somebody, hey, would you buy this? If you do this, like I see this all the time in support groups and business groups and networking events and all this stuff. They'll poll the audience. They'll say, hey, would you guys buy this? And everybody throws their hand up. Yeah, 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 we'd buy it. And then you build it and you bring it back. And guess what? Nobody buys it. They're like sitting there promoting you to jump off a cliff and you don't know if there's a pillow at the bottom. You're asking the wrong people. So that's why that is so important. Making sure your business starts off on solid ground. If not, just, don't worry. Fail fast. The best thing you could do is fail in 10 minutes, not in 18 months. Because 10 minutes later, you could be on to something good instead of waiting a year and a half. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I'm going to live for several hundred years and have that much opportunity to fuck this up over and over and over, right? We don't have that kind of time frame. If you're going to hit success, you want to do it quickly. There's failure in the way of success almost always. So get the failures out of the way. Knock them out quick. That's that's my little sermon for that piece today. But it really is important. Analysis, if you're jumping into creation and you're creating products and you're creating sales pages and you're creating all this stuff, before you know there's a market that's viable, you're probably wasting your time. There's a real good chance. So AI has given us an incredible tool, an incredibly powerful tool to be able to help you do this stuff. Because if you use it properly, you can prompt it so it knows who it is. You can prompt it as a, a researcher. And you can say, I'd like you to research this market, and I only am interested in the opinion of my ideal customer. And then you can give it who the ideal customer is and say, I'm not interested in random opinions. I only want to know views from this particular avatar. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how the AI can accelerate this process. In an ad agency, this can take months. This can take them literally months to interview people, make sure they have the right people, the right avatars, get them around the table, and run through this process. And now I can literally do that shit in minutes using AI. The Quantum Suite is perfect for that if you're not good at prompting. If you're good at prompting and you're an AI specialist, you can just do the stuff in Perplexity. You don't need anything fancy. But most people don't know what to ask. They don't know how to properly frame, the chat and all that. So that's why I built Quantum, just to make it super simple. So it's there, all the tools are in there to help you do the process. Randy, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, John.
Yeah.
I have two very, what I feel are very important questions.
All right, let's have it.
So I need help. As I wrote to you, I have a big presentation. I don't know how many people are showing up, but they've been talking about this. I'm going to present quantum AI to Toastmasters, the entire division out here in the Inland Empire. And these are the leaders inside of Toastmasters. So I went to create a video and all of a sudden it's asking me to pay for it.
Yeah.
So and that's not the bad part. Well, there's a string of things to that, but I don't know what, even if I have to pay for it, I don't know what equates to 6 credits, 1,000. I
Gotcha.
mean, there's no way of knowing what I'm paying for. So I don't know if I can create two videos tonight as a show of what it can do, or if I can create 50 videos tonight.
Got
So
it. So I
understand,
have the answers for you now.
okay.
I dug into that one, and my programming team, we had talked about that because the creation of the videos and stuff takes a lot of API keys out of the OpenAI stuff. So there's a cost to that, and we found out that hey, there's a lot of people in here that are really chewing this up and burning up way more than what they're spending on the program. So we had to put some constraints in there, and we figured instead of just locking and blocking them, what we would do is what when you get quantum now, you'll get 1,000 credits with it. To create a video it takes 50 credits. So basically, you can create 20 videos with the 1,000 credits that you're given. And then you can buy more. I think 1,000 credits is only like $6 or $7. It's pretty
Mhm.
cheap. The other thing I haven't actually released it into the tool set yet, but one thing that we're going to put in there is a full-blown video editor.
Mhm.
And this thing, you could create your own videos. Now, the cost to that one will be 150 credits because that one's taken a lot of horsepower to do that one. But it gives
Yeah,
you a full-blown video editor if you don't have one or you don't know how to do that. And again, you can buy more credits, whenever you want them. The normal average person is not going to need more than 20 videos. So
I'm not
that,
normal.
yeah, I know that.
No.
But
So
it makes them cheap for the non-normal.
right. So here's the challenge. Here's what I see with regard to that. I appreciate everything you said so far, and I like knowing that we're going to have the video editor, etc. But I'm glad only a couple people have bought it under my affiliate, because if they don't know that's coming and they don't know when they see this pop up, then we really should be telling them ahead of time
Yeah.
that this has occurred because people have already bought it. Now they think they're going to get all this video recording space or video production space, and they're not without added. So that's normal. But I think somehow you might get some pushback from people who are like, what the heck? You know?
Oh, no,
So
I
aside from that, there's even with that up there, it doesn't tell you what you get for the credit. So when somebody sees that, they don't know what they're paying for.
okay. It actually does now. When you go in to create the video, it says right there, this takes 50 credits.
Okay, good. So last night when I did it, or yesterday when I did it, it popped up and it tells me 0 credits, and I click on it, it didn't tell me what I got. So then my next question is, if this is going to be more than just happening with the video, and there's other apps that take up that much space, time, whatever, there we ought to have a way of seeing it so we can refer them to, hey, if the app shows this symbol, then that's one of the apps that is going to require you to pay after a certain amount of usage or something. Because if somebody buys the product and they don't know that they're going to run out of space if they're a heavy user, then that could be problematic.
Yeah, well, that's why it shows you right there when you pull up the tool, it shows you right there how many credits it'll take. And there's only a couple of them, just the video tools, basically.
Okay. All right.
Those
So
are the only ones that require that.
So then the last question is when I did go to buy the 699 just to see what it was going to do, it's taking me someplace I'm unfamiliar with. And so when I go to put in my information, whoever that's tied to, I've never seen that before. I don't know who they are, and I want to make sure that my information is going somewhere safe and secure.
Yeah, it's going through a Stripe account.
Okay, I hate Stripe, but okay. Um,
I'm not real fond of them either, but it's like what all the developers love it because you can do the splits. And on
okay.
this program, we have rev splits with all the development teams. So
Okay. So I got that. So I can do that. So my second big question is in Kartra. Now I'm switching gears on everybody. Inside of Kartra, in the affiliate space, if you click on the affiliate, how do you know where to go to create your own affiliate program? I have affiliates in there, but how do I create my own affiliate program? I didn't see where I can create it.
so when you create a product,
Okay.
whenever you create a product inside Kartra, one of the tabs in that product creation sequence is an affiliate tab. So you have to turn it on. And then once you turn that on and you basically have activated that product as an affiliate, then you go through and you fill out all the affiliate, like how much commission do you want to pay? Is this a 1 tier or a 2 tier affiliate? So if you do a 2 tier, then you can have like a JV broker. Like you
Mhm.
could say, hey, if you become a broker, I'll give you an override commission on anyone you bring in.
A broker being that they can
Like
offer the
like
products.
yeah, like let's say I do this with Craig. So I say, Craig, if you want to bring people in to be affiliates, they will get their affiliate cut, but I also give you an override for bringing them in.
So that leads me
Two
to the
tier.
question that leads me to where I came up with this. Someone asked me, how do I become an affiliate and offer X, Y, and Z? Well, if I just, now I'm being selfish, if I just send them to you, then I'm cutting myself out.
Correct. So you want to become a JV broker of me.
So I need to become a JV broker of you.
Correct.
And then what does that allow me to do?
So that gives you the override of anyone that you send to me to become an affiliate.
Okay. So then there's a link that I would give them so that they can offer it as well.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So
We're building this mountain.
as a JV broker, you get a link just like you get an affiliate link for my products, you get a JV broker link. You would give your prospects that link and you say, "Hey, if you want to sign up for this affiliate program, here's the link to do it."
Got it. Okay.
So instead of sending them to my site to click the become an affiliate link, you would say, here's the link for you to become an affiliate of Internet Dominators.
Yeah,
And
because I don't want to cut myself out.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And when they go through your JV broker link and they sign up, you are attached to that account forever.
And I'm attached to your hip too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anytime they make sales, they make money, you make money.
Got it.
So
Awesome.
it's really cool. Yeah. And you can set that up in your own account too if you want. You can set up the two tier. What it asks you is all my products have a monthly fee, but they also all have an activation fee or an entry fee. Like when I sell ACT, typically they pay 497 to get into the program, and then they pay the 47 a month on the back end for the ACT support, these calls, the quantum, all the stuff behind the scenes. So in the affiliate, it basically asks you, okay, on the first order, how much do you want to give your affiliate and how much do you want to give your JV broker? You could either do it in hard numbers or in percentage. Like I usually do percentage. I usually give the affiliate 50%, and then I'll give the JV broker anywhere from 15 to 25% on the front end. And then on the back end, usually the affiliate will get 25%, and the JV broker will get anywhere from 15 to 25% on the back end as well. So I believe in giving away a lot to
Hmm.
get money.
Right.
Like I look at that as that's my cost of sales. I
Right.
could go out and I could spend a ton of money on advertising. I could build a sales team. I could put a call center together. I could do all that stuff, which I don't want to do
Hmm.
because it's both costly and it takes a lot of my time to manage it, which I'm not real fond of. I would rather incentivize people to refer me and we all make money and I go play on my boat.
Right. It's a
All
win-win,
right.
and that's what I wanted to make sure that it was a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall what sticks in my head about that win-win scenario when God rest his soul, but when Rami Al-Bartwari came in and spoke to us, that billionaire that passed away, he said that I don't care what size project he was investing in, unless every single stakeholder was going to win, he would not do the deal.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that was
Everybody.
powerful and it stuck with me. And so I want to make sure that I'm not cutting myself out, but I want to make sure everyone's winning.
Yeah. No, I've been on that same thought process forever.
Yeah. I
If
hope that makes sense.
if
So,
people don't win, they don't want to be part of you. They don't
exactly.
want to, they want to veer away and go find someone else they'll win with.
Yep, absolutely. So anyhow, that answers all of my big two questions. I'm happy, and I can show them videos that I've already done, or I can go ahead and sign up and get that done. So I got all day to do that because it's an evening presentation. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope
Awesome.
that helps other people too that might have, not
Literally,
understood the whole JV thing and all that.
and literally, if you look at the cost of the actual video production,
Hmm.
you're getting 1,000 credits for what was it, $7?
Yeah.
So you can make 20 videos with a
Hmm.
thousand credits for $7.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like sub $1 for for
Yeah.
promo
I'll
videos.
I'll probably do more because I'm using them for marketing and advertising and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But anyhow,
Well, where we ran into problems was a lot of people that are users of Quantum, they're
mhm,
also agencies. So they were making literally hundreds of videos for all their clients and selling them. They're selling these videos for several $100s each. And here, we're flipping the bill for all the production and not
yeah,
making anything on it.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I didn't even think about agency people. You
Yeah.
know, I'm down here in the peanut gallery, but I'm
And
climbing
and
out slowly but surely.
and that said, I mean, every one of you that has access to Quantum, you have an ability right there to make promo videos for companies and sell it to them.
Yep,
You know how long it takes, right? It takes a few minutes to make a
few
video.
minutes. Yep.
You could easily sell that video for $100. Let's just make it easy. $100
Yep.
per video. That is about a third of what you would pay on Fiverr,
Hmm.
and the videos are probably better than what you're going to get on Fiverr, and you can
And
knock.
really, yeah, and when you add that editing thing where you can edit, that's gonna just like go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can already edit your videos right there. You know, the videos that you make in Quantum, you can edit those all day long.
Yes.
The new
Hmm.
video editor, it's almost like a full production tool. You can actually upload your videos into it and steam them together and do whatever you want to do.
Right. That's what I was talking about. If they have several different short clips and stuff,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that'll make it more powerful. Okay. Well, thank you. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff in the hopper. It's just like coming so fast. It's amazing. I'm just so glad that I don't have to do all the work. I got all the teams behind us, and we got Brady and Connie to sweep up the mess after I'm done. Jimmy, go ahead.
I'm kind of gonna ask the question that Randy was talking about a little bit there. The new video editor you have, I'm just gonna ask this question. If I did an interview with, let's say, James Malinchak or Jack Canfield, I can take that video, put it into your video editor, and then just come out with like a 10-second or 15-second slice of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I don't know how to edit videos, so that's would be very helpful for me
Yeah, yeah, you can cut them up, you can splice them together. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do.
without losing the original video, right? You can.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your original video stays in its own file on your desktop, say, and then you upload it, you manipulate it, you create a whole new video, and then you download that back to your desktop, and you got your new video.
Hey, John, will you be able to add music to it?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it's full blown everything you would want.
Thank you.
So cool, cool stuff. And there's a there's a guy, oh man. Oh, Logo Animators. If you haven't seen this, it's logoanimators.com. This guy is using AI to create little intro videos for you out of your logos. And he's really inexpensive. I think it's like 20 $29, I think, for if you just get one, and then if you get two, it's you get discounts and all that. He's running all kinds of specials right now. If you get on his list, go to his website and get on his list, you'll get emails from him. Or even if you just buy one video, you're going to get emails from him where, like, I just did the one where it was buy two, get four for free. So I got basically six of these videos for like $60. And they're really cool. I'll show you guys. Let me share the screen here. I'll show you. I finally got my Apex sales page up, by the way. And this is the video that he made me for Apex. So that's pretty cool. And what you can do with that, here it goes again. He's, and some people don't like the fire effects. He's got literally hundreds of different effects to choose from. You just simply choose the effect you want, you upload your logo, and then within a day or two, he sends it to you. Really cool. Now, let's say you use the video editor and you take James Malinchak and you cut out your little clip of him that you want. And then maybe you put yourself in there as, say, hey, I'm Jimmy and here's what I do and here's what I can do for you and here's what I want you to do next. And then you can have that animated logo on the beginning. You can also have it on the end too, as you come in and out of that just to capture your brand. So that's pretty cool stuff. All right, Craig, go ahead.
Hey John, how are you?
Good.
Quick technical question. Or the number or email address rather for technical support for quantum white label integration because I don't see
That one.
I don't see a CNAME address to point my web host to for the white label. So I've been having some challenges with that.
Okay, did you set your domain up?
Well, that's just the point. GoDaddy is my host, and I just needed a CNAME record for Quantum so I could point it, but I don't know what to
Oh
point it
no.
at because it doesn't say it
Yeah, I'm
in
talking
there.
about inside Quantum. Did you set up your white label domain in Quantum?
Well, no, I'm getting errors, and I thought I had to have the CNAME and everything on the back end with GoDaddy before I did the integration
Well,
in Quantum.
the first thing in Quantum that you need to do is you need to go under the little profile tab and click on domains, and you need to add a domain that you're going to use. And then under the white label settings, you need to set your custom domain in there. So it has to be in the drop down list, so you have to add it first. And it doesn't really matter, if your CNAME records are set up there yet or
Mhm.
not. You do that, and then it basically, once you added the domain, it will give you the string for the DNS to set up your CNAME or your A record.
Okay, so to be clear, I'm just configuring the TLD in Quantum, but my top level domain is not going to move from GoDaddy inside of Quantum, correct?
That's
That's just for
correct.
config purposes. Okay, that
That's
makes
correct.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
got you.
depending if you're going to use a subdomain or a main domain, if you're using one or the other, it's going to tell you what kind of record you need in DNS. It might be an A record or it might be a CNAME record.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably use a subdomain or something. All right, I'll play around with that stuff after the call. But yeah, that kind of makes sense now that I think about it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, if you're going to use a main domain, I think you set an A record to,
Right,
and then if then that's with an IP address.
correct.
You're going to use a subdomain, that's a CNAME, where you're basically pointing the subdomain to that.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't really necessarily like Connie and Brady are not up to speed on the white label support, so that really all falls back on me at this point until I have to get a handle on it myself, honestly, before I can train them on it. So unfortunately, you got to deal with me on that for now.
No worries. I just realize how busy you are, but cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. All right. Anybody else got any questions? So one thing, like I'm gonna kind of lean back on making 2025 your best year ever. So I'm gonna push, unless you guys have a question or whatever, I just really want to stay on that track because that's really what we're all here for, right? We're
Yeah,
all
I
we're all
do
here to
have
make money.
I do have one quick question. When you go into back into Kartra and we're looking for you, where do we find you at? So, because things have changed around in Kartra.
Yeah, they have. I've been actually I've found something this morning that was absolutely a dream come true for me. Because one of the things I have found is some people don't know how to log in, like to their membership site.
Right.
And before, all you could do was you could go into the membership area and you could resend their login info. But if they are not getting their email, that doesn't do you any good. So you can't get them logged into their account. So I notice now when you go into the members area and you see who's signed up, there's another tab there, another button next to it that you could reset their password. And you can
Mm,
actually put in a new password that you know what it is. So now I can tell them, hey, here's your password. Here's how you log in. So
got it.
I was really, really happy about that. But as far as for you to get to you're talking about getting to my affiliate program, right?
Yeah, that way I can set up the JV.
Yes. Okay. So you setting up the JV for your own stuff is different than accessing the JV for mine.
Right.
So which one are you looking for?
Well, can you bring up the screen and show us both?
It's going to be different in yours because mine would be the admin of it.
Okay,
So,
I guess I just need to get into where you are so I can set myself up, and then I'll figure out later how to set them up.
okay. So let me see if I can, let me see if I
Because I'm looking and I guess I'm blind. I don't see.
can, okay. Let me get in here. Yeah, and they have shifted stuff around. So under the sales tab, and this is me as an administrator now showing you how I would administer it. So this is like you doing this in your account. Under products, you click on affiliates.
Okay.
It's going to show you all of your affiliates. So
Okay.
we'll use Craig for instance. I'm going to go in here and let's say Craig wants his link. I'm going to click under promotions. And again, this is me as an admin going into one of my affiliates to get them their link.
Okay.
So let's say he wants to be affiliate for the ACT program. So I can see, how many visitors he's got, how many sales, rebills, his total revenue. So I'm going to click here for his affiliate link.
But how do you know he's already set up as a broker?
You're automatically set up as a broker.
Oh, okay.
So here I could get his affiliate links, and in ACT, I've got a bunch of different links. So he could
Right.
promote any of these specials.
Okay.
But here, there's only one broker link.
Okay.
So if I copy that, I give that to Craig and I say, here's your broker link. Pass this out to anyone that wants to be an affiliate of ACT. Now, when
Oh,
they
got it.
when
Okay.
they click on that, they go to sign up for my affiliate program, but it tags him as the broker.
Okay. So I would do the same thing based on what they're asking me that they
Correct.
want to be able to offer.
Correct.
Got it.
So now you as an affiliate, that's a whole different can of worms. So you as an affiliate, you would come in under, let's see, resource.
Oh, thanks for showing me how much you send Craig Duswalt. Now I feel better knowing I send him more money than you.
Let me see where this is. That was just the last 30 days. Let's see here.
Yeah, I know how to read it, John. I've
They hide the.
I do quite a bit of checks out myself. So yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, Tim, do you know where they're hiding like your affiliate stuff in here now?
Um,
Oh, maybe it's up here.
Hold on, yeah, because I was just there. Your affiliate, it's up on
Okay,
your
here it
name up
is.
top, affiliate section.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
So if you click here, this is all the stuff that you're signed up to be an affiliate of.
man, they really did move it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they moved a lot of it around, and it takes some navigating to figure out. But yeah,
So
Okay.
so you can go in here like if you go under you've got your Kartra links in here, you've got all the stuff you've signed up to be an affiliate for should all be in here.
Got it. Okay.
yeah. Do they even offer Carter Starter anymore in the affiliate program? I'm curious if they took those links out because I
Oh,
heard they did away with them.
let's see. It might be because I got them here.
All right, yeah, because I heard they were doing away with that on Starter, the affiliate program with Starter.
I think they just reassigned it. I think it's a different program now.
Hmm.
So anyway, so that's where you find yours to
Okay.
promote other people's products. So you've
Got
got
it.
those two sections depending on whether it's yours or theirs that you're
Got
promoting.
it. Got it. Okay.
And then as far as like if we go back and you want to set yours up, you can go under sales and then products. And then I'm just going to put ACT in here. We'll look up the ACT program
Right there.
right here. So when I go in here to edit this,
Now has a spot for affiliates right across. You can click right to it. Before
yeah,
you had to one step advance all the way across.
yeah. So if you click on here, you can see I've got a bunch of different price levels here for different offers that I've got for ACT. So each one of them allows you to set initial charge. So you can see the initial charge 50% to the affiliate, 15 to the broker. And then over here, the following charges 25 to the affiliate, 15 to the broker. These are all editable. Like you can create one particular person that's going to sell this for you and you can give them more or whatever. So you can,
That's one of the reasons Craig's hired is so I pay Craig more money than I pay anybody for the affiliates. And that was it because I made an agreement with him in the beginning
Mhm.
and then I just stuck to it for him. I just don't offer it for everybody else. But I might offer it for John Limbacher, but you know.
And then here,
So,
if you go down to your landing pages, this is where you can put all of your offers under here that the affiliate program tracks. And notice here where it says public to all affiliates. That's where you can change it and make that to specific. Like this particular offer is only available to Michelle Calloway.
mhm,
No one else sees that except for her. When she logs in, she sees that link, but no one else sees it. Here's the
mhm,
one for you, Randy, that you're the only one that gets that link.
mhm.
And there's
So,
Sue.
so really what you're saying, to simplify it, is if I go into Kartra, my stuff is up in the right-hand side of the tab under my profile for affiliates, and my affiliates are down there on the left under sales and affiliates.
Correct. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
You're awesome. Thank you.
So that's your two ways that you get access. And Kartra, I mean, it's a phenomenal program. Like I've said this over and over and over. If you took it away from me at this point in my life, my career, whatever, I would probably just go fishing. I wouldn't even try and rebuild it. It's so entrenched in my business. It runs everything so seamlessly and smoothly. It's just awesome. So back to Craig. Do you still have another question, Craig? Or
Yeah, I just want to walk back to that domain thing. I apologize because I
oh,
was
no
doing
worries.
this around Thanksgiving and I might have been in like a turkey food coma. So and I didn't remember, but I was trying some different things and it kept throwing all those things you suggested. I tried them already and it kept throwing up where you get the little red X in the lower left hand corner, it says domain error, it says error with the big red X and it says domain already exists. So I tried adding multiple permutations of a subdomain. I tried adding the top level domain, and it still kept giving me an error. And that's when I decided on the next meeting I would reach out and get the email to support. So what
Okay.
I'll do is offline I'll capture some screenshots of the error and kind of let you see what it looks like, and I'll toss you an email and we can
Okay.
kind of work it out through that way.
If you're available as soon as we close this meeting out, you can jump back in here and we can look at it.
Oh, okay, sure.
Does that work?
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Michelle.
Hello. My question is, so I'm transitioning from Go High Level to Kartra because I've been Go High Level. I just don't have the support system that I need, and I want to. What I realized when you were just going through all of that, I don't see the same options that you were showing for other folks. So when I look when I looked at, I don't think I even have the full membership to Kartra. So that's the
Okay.
reason why I don't see that. Number one. Number two, I'm going through finishing up the ACT program and going through all of that and everything because I, again, was in Go High Level. Um, my question to you is, now I lost my train of thought. Can you believe that? I had this beautiful question for you, John, and now I can't even remember what the hell it is.
Well, Go High Level will do that to you.
I
Right?
was
I
so gonna
know.
say that.
Yes. When I think of it again, I'll come back around, but it was something I was trying to like. Oh, okay, so if I'm building, if you're going to build a website for me, John, for this new thing, I'm going through the ACT program to make sure that, like you said, that everything makes sense in regards to my business model and plan and everything, and that it all makes sense. Do you build that in Kartra then, Or if you want to build a landing page for a particular product, is that separate from building the website?
So typically what I do is I'll build my website on WordPress. And
Okay.
it's got all the stuff that a website should have, all your business information, all of your stuff basically. And then in Kartra, I build out the products, all the shopping cart. I use all of Kartra for all of that. All of my opt-ins, I use Kartra for all the opt-ins. So
Okay.
you can create those pieces in Kartra and then you can embed those into your website. So like
Okay.
somebody checks a button, like all my lead magnets, those are all Kartra. So somebody
Okay.
clicks a button, pops up, that's a Kartra window. When they enter their name and email address, it goes right into Kartra. Kartra delivers, Kartra nurtures, Kartra sells, all of that stuff. So I marry the two together. I don't try and build the whole website in Kartra, although you could, but it would not be optimal at all.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Kartra's great.
There is a lady here in Dallas. That's how she does it. She actually builds all of her sites in Kartra and then she puts them out for her clients.
Yeah,
And yeah, I do the same way you do for all my clients. So yeah, and I have several that do the same system, Michelle, that
yeah,
like I and John do. We have the pages and then all their sales pages are over on Kartra. Gina, same
Got it.
case.
Okay.
Gina's one of the people who, yeah, she's one of my sub account.
yeah. It's just there's no way I could tell you that that would be optimal though to build everything.
Makes
So I use Kartra for what it's great at, and I use WordPress for what it's great at, and marry the two, and you got the best of both worlds. And
sounds good. Thank you.
they work seamlessly together. And that actually leads me to another thing that is a great point, again, for moving into 2025. Here's something that you absolutely want to do. You all need lead magnets. You all need to have the free teaser, the free giveaway, whatever you're doing to get people onto your mailing list. You have a thank you page for that. On the thank you page, this is a perfect time to make an offer. Give them the thing, like don't put them into an offer up front. Give them the thing they thought they were getting and then give them more. So that your offer comes at the end of that. And I have beefed up. One of the things I've done this year is I've beefed up all of my offer pages, all of my thank you pages. I spent a little more time. I made them a little more pretty and, a little more exciting. But also, I have put on the end of it, that whole thing of make them an offer. Let me see here. Oh, I guess I gotta share my screen so you can see this. All right, so I will share. The offer doesn't even have to be yours either. So I'm just going to go to my AI book page. I'm just going to go direct to it. So here, this is completely built by AI. This thing was churned out in a matter of minutes. So this AI book, get your free copy. This is Kartra. Just popped a Kartra window. I'm going to hit grab your free copy now.
Yeah, that's John's.
And then look at that. Now we got confetti. It's like a party. And there is your free book. Download the book now. But here's a free AI webinar. Guess what? This thing's going to sell you something. And then we got a special bonus, the replacement for Zoom. I know a lot of people are very irritated right now with Zoom because Zoom has done a lot of crazy stuff. It's kind of gotten a little more irritating to work with. So here is get a free account for the Zoom replacement. People are signing up for this. They're buying it. This isn't even my product. I'm making mailbox money on it. It's an affiliate product. So I gave away something of high value here. I made another offer for more education that's going to lead them to want to buy something from me. And I'm giving them a free Zoom replacement. Guess what? When they download this thing is full of resources of which every one is an affiliate link. So this free mousetrap that I gave away is a money-making machine every step of the way. This is going to make money. This is going to make money. This is going to make money. All from that free thing of offering them something of high value. So this is what you need to think about moving into 2025 is what can you offer that your segment, like figure out your segment. What do they need? What do they need help with? Look at it again. This is back to ACT. One of the key pieces in ACT is called the timeline. The timeline is when you're looking at your ideal customer, think of them, and some people think timeline like left to right. Some think front to back. They think the past is behind them, the future's out front. It doesn't matter. Whatever your idea of a timeline is, just put them on the timeline of where they are currently, present day. And then the future on their timeline, I see it to the right. I see their future out to the right. I see their past to the left. Maybe I'm just screwed up in the head. I don't know. Some people see the future forward and the past behind them. But I see future on the right. So when I think timeline, I think, okay, where is my person? Here they are right now. I understand their problem. I understand what they want is they want to be at the future outcome. They want the transformation. Nobody wants to be where they are. Believe it or not, I don't care how wealthy you are, how well fed you are, how well sexed you are, whatever. Whatever makes you happy, I don't care where you are, you want more, right? And that more is called that transformation. It could be beauty, it could be anything your little heart desires. Wherever you are right now, I guarantee you are going to want more. Sometimes when you get the more, you're satisfied for about 3 minutes. And then you're on a new point in the timeline and the future is still out there. You're going to want more. And this is a salesperson's dream to get in your head and figure out where you are in the timeline so they can offer you the next step and make a nickel off of it. And you all, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not, you all are salespeople. So this is your dream. You've got to figure out who your ideal customer is and where they are on that timeline. So back to the lead magnet, the most important, valuable thing that you can give your person is something to advance them down the timeline, get them closer to their desired outcome. Maybe it's a list of, the pitfalls of getting from here to there so they don't destroy themselves in the process. Like let's say you were a life insurance salesman. What could be a great lead magnet is don't buy life insurance until you know this secret. They don't want you to know. They're using the scarcity factor and the fear factor and all that. And guaranteed, if you're at the point where you're thinking about making a decision to buy life insurance, that's going to get under your skin. That's a buying trigger. You're not going to want to take another step until you see what that is, right? Are you going to go and throw your money at a life insurance policy once that's been presented to you? Probably not. If you do, you're going to wake up with night terrors. You're going to go, oh shit, did I make the right decision? Confidence is one of the keys to selling something. If they don't have confidence, they're not going to buy something. Like Frank Kern is really, really good at this. And he uses the whole timeline thing as well. I mean, it came out of ad agencies. He didn't make it up. But what he realizes is the more you can give them, the closer you can get them down the timeline to that thing they want, the higher the demand and desire to get the last step, the more they're willing to pay, and the easier it is to not have to hard sell them. They're going to want it. They're going to ask for it. And that's where I've always tried to position myself because I really am very anti-salesman. I don't like pushy salesmen. I don't like conflict. I don't like to have to ask for the order. I don't like any of that shit. I was not cut out to be a salesperson because I don't like them. You know, I see them as pushy and all this other crap. So I don't see myself there, but it was Eric Lapham that kind of changed my mindset on that. He said, you know, he's got a whole mindset shift on the whole sales thing. He says, you don't have to be pushy. He said, but here's what you got to do. You have to serve your clients. He said, if you're not going to serve your clients, you shouldn't be in business. And he said, unless you're educating your customers to know that you're the right solution for them, that's all you need to do. Then they'll make the right decision. You don't have to push them. You don't have to ask for it, all that. And I've done that pretty much my entire career. I mean, has I don't think any of you have ever heard me ask you to buy my shit, right? Never, ever. Like even when I was selling high-end SEO services, I would come into the meeting not as a salesperson, simply as someone there to help them. And I would sit down at a boardroom meeting and I'd make sure that I had the right person, the one that was going to actually make the buying decision. But I would ask them, I would say, let me ask you this. If I could bring you someone, I could bring you a customer that would be the best customer you ever had, who would that be? Tell me about them. And now their words are coming off their lips telling me exactly who they're looking for. And I let them go till they're done. I don't interrupt them at all. When they're done and they stop talking, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I ask them another question. I said, thinking about that person, if they were to sit down in front of the computer and search for you, what do you think they would type in? And again, I'm taking their words from their lips. And as soon as I get those words out and they've stopped talking, I say, wow, that's interesting. Let's try something. And I make sure that they have a computer there, or I bring one, and I set it down in front of them or position them in front of it. And I say, why don't you pull up Google and type that in? Let's see what happens. And they do. And naturally, they're not there. And I lean in and I look, so, you know, we're head to head, side by side, looking at the same screen, and I act surprised. I said, wow, that's interesting. Do you know who these people are? And I know they know who they are because it's their competitors. You know, one of the things you don't want to ask questions you don't already know the answer to. So I basically just took them on a self-guided tour that they have a massive problem. Because what they just realized is their ideal customer, the one that's the most profitable for them, is never going to find them. And they're feeding them right to their competitors. So I just ripped a hole in them. They're bleeding pretty badly. Now's a good time to offer a band-aid. And I never even have to get to that. I never have to offer them anything. Generally, at that point, they look at me and they say, wow, how can I get here? Can you help me get on this page? They're asking me if they can buy from me. I'm not making a sales presentation. I'm just taking them on a guided tour so they understand their problem. Once they become self-aware, they want to fix it. They want to purchase. They want to give me money. That's how I've sold every SEO project I had, and I sold a lot of them. But I never felt like a salesperson doing it. I just felt like somebody that was there to help. Consultative selling. It works really, really well. And if you can figure out how you can automate that process in what you do, and your customers can experience that, that's called education-based marketing. You're educating them. You're letting them discover. Don't ever like tell them what their problem is. People don't like that. You come in and you say, "Oh yeah, you're not listed. That's a problem." Don't point out their problems. That's just going to make you look like a dick, and they don't like dicks, and they don't buy from dicks. So take another tact. Let them just be the one that guides them to discover their problem. And you can do that so easily with a webinar. You can do that so easily with, a handout, an ebook, general information on a website. So just be helpful, be of service, give them enough that they can take their own steps toward solving their problem. And like I said, like Frank Kern does, the more he gives them, the more they want to buy the thing he's selling. And usually he's selling an expensive thing on the end. So he's got to give away a lot in the process. And, the other guy that did this incredibly well was David D'Angelo. And if any of you go back very far in internet marketing, that name will ring a bell. David D'Angelo, he sold a product called Double Your Dating. And what it was basically for men, how to get dates, how to get women, how to attract women, all that stuff. And his ideal customer was a guy that was introverted, didn't have any dating experience, couldn't probably get a date to save his life, and, couldn't get out of his own way. That was his ideal customer. And he knew what they wanted, right? They didn't really want the date. They wanted the outcome of the date. They wanted the sex. But he never positioned it as that. He basically said he kept it to the date thing, to begin with. And he said, if you want a date, the first thing you're going to have to do is get women to talk to you. Right? He said, if you can't get a woman to talk to you, you're never going to get a date, which is telling you you're never going to have sex. That's a pretty big dagger in the heart to that guy. Right? That guy wants that pretty bad. And you just put a dagger in his heart. You told him he's never going to get it without this one thing. So, how badly now do you think he wants that one thing? It becomes incredibly important to him to be able to strike up a conversation with a woman. And that was the free lead magnet. Says, I'm going to show you how to get women to talk to you. He gave it away for free. And what that did, that boosted their confidence to an incredible level. Right? When they went out and found out, oh my God, it works. I can get women to talk to me. They have no freaking clue what to do next. They still want the sex, but they got no idea how to get there. But they took the first step. Their confidence level went up. Holy shit, I can do this. And this is the guy that knows how to get me there. So who do you think he's going to buy from? Do you think he's going to go out and shop and find a new guy? No. He's sitting there waiting for you to tell him what to do next. Right? And David D'Angelo gave away 90% of the course material for free. Taking this guy down the timeline, getting him closer and closer to what he wanted ultimately. And this is one thing I tell you guys over and over and over. You got to figure out what they want and why they want it. You got to get deep in it. Like, this is a perfect example. That guy does not want to date, but that's what he'll tell you he wants. So when he tells you he wants that, you're focused on the wrong thing, right? You're not really getting into his real true buying triggers. So you're going to have trouble selling to him. You got to understand what they really want, why they want it. Like for business owners, I'll ask, 9 out of 10 business owners, what would you really want? If I could help you do something, what would you want? You know what they all tell me? I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million in 2025. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great. That's a very superficial answer. That doesn't tell me anything about what you really want. So I have to go deeper. I say, oh, well, that's cool. That's doable. What is that going to do for you? Why do you want it? What's the $1 million represent? I know you don't have a bill for $1 million that you have to cover. Why do you want the $1 million? And it gets into their real desire, what they really want. What they really want is they want to be able to afford to take their family on vacation. They want their kids to look up to them. And if we're talking about a man here, it boils down to significance. A man wants to be significant. You've got to figure out what that looks like to him so you can describe it. If you're conveying your value, you have to be able to let them paint the picture of them getting to the timeline, the end of the timeline. It's not the $1 million. That's a superficial bullshit answer. Dating, superficial bullshit answer. That guy wants sex. There's no other way around it. That's what he really wants. The guy that wants the $1 million doesn't, the $1 million is irrelevant. It's what does it get him? That's what's important. That's what you need to key in on, right? Ultimately, it's going to boil down to freedom. That guy wants to do what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, with whom he wants to do it with, and be looked up to for that. That's significance. If it's a woman, it's very similar, but the ultimate underlying thing will boil down to security. Women ultimately at the end of the rainbow, why they want it is security. They want to feel secure. Now, that said, there are some high functioning, very aggressive women that break the mold. Not everyone is the same. So you got to really boil it down. Who is your ideal customer? What do they want? Why do they want it? And then figure out what can I give them to give them the confidence to know that it's possible. And then lead them into an education-based marketing program to show them that you are the solution. You are the best solution to get them the outcome they're looking for. And if that doesn't all mesh up, then you need to change your plan so it does, because that's what's going to work for you. That's what's going to do it. I'd like to candy coat it, sugar coat it, and all that shit, but I'm not going to. That's what it boils down to. And it's a lot of work. There's some work to be done in this. So if you're not willing to do what it takes, you probably shouldn't play the game because you're going to get broken. I don't want anybody coming out of this broken, especially after 10 years. I definitely don't want you to spend 10 years to figure out it's not going to work. That, that just hurts my soul thinking about it. So, any other questions? You guys?
Hey John, who was the first guy you referenced? You said David D'Angelo. When you started that whole thing about mindset, you threw out another name and I didn't catch it. Sorry. Can
Oh, it's Eric Lofholm.
you spell that?
It's Lofholm. He is a sales trainer and he does seminars. I think he's in Sacramento now. He does a lot of stuff online at this point. He's a great sales trainer. A lot of the stuff I learned about the process, I learned from him. He's got a great process he calls the sales mountain. And it has a lot to do with ACT. It's got a lot to do with conveying value, taking them through that process, getting them up to the point where you've got an irresistible offer they just can't say no to.
Yeah, go follow him on Facebook and watch what he does on Facebook. And literally he's doing it all the time, pulling leads into his process all the time, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Like you'll be following it and you don't even know it, and he's leading you right in.
Yeah, he's really good. One of the things
That's awesome. Wow.
one of the things he did in that mindset process was he said you need to think about your product as life-saving. Not life-altering, not life-changing, but life-saving. And he said, think about it this way. If your product cured cancer, and and he's just using this as an example. He said, if your product cured cancer and there was a little girl that was dying of cancer, and your product could make the difference of her living and dying, how much would you, what level would you go to convince her parents that she needed this? You know, how far would you go to convince them and sway their buying decision? So that's what he positioned it. He said you need to look at it is the person worth saving? Is that little girl worth saving her life? If you know your product will do it and the parents reject it, what level will you go to save that little girl? And that's the way you guys need to think about your sales process. To what level are you willing to go to help people? If you really want to help them, you have to figure out what they want, why they want it, and how you first grab their attention and how you bring them into an education-based marketing system where by the end of it, they know beyond a shadow of doubt that you are the person that can get them what they want and they want to work with you. It's that's what it boils down to. If you're not doing that, you're going to struggle. You're going to have a lot of trouble in this game. If you do that, this is all going to be really easy. So, but take the time, go through the lessons and act. And if you're just starting out in it, what I tell everybody is just kind of go through it without trying to do anything. Don't even make notes on it. Just go through it, take in the information, and then once you've done that, now you've got the basic framework of it. So the concepts are there. You've kind of it'll be, too much for you probably to really assimilate, but just go through it.
Yeah.
Just
John,
get
speaking
familiar.
of that, one quick question. I went through your workbook and I'm on page 57. It says the argument and it says CPB plus CPB plus CPB equals, a couple of other more. What is CPB?
Claim proof benefit.
Thank you.
So that's the formula. When you're going up against an objection, basically that's what overcomes an objection. You have to make a claim that's contrary to their belief. And this all goes back to Benjamin Franklin. That's where that formula came from.
Okay.
Like he realized that every objection was based on a belief. So you figure out what the belief is, you make a contrary claim, exact opposite to whatever they believe, and then you follow it up with proof, two proof points that's not just your opinion, not just you stating something, because that's just argumentative. So it's two proof points from third party validators that now all of a sudden it's not your opinion, it's a fact. It's real. So you've made the claim, you've proved that the claim is true and accurate, and then you attach their outcome to the benefit. So the benefit of this is the outcome they want. Claim proof benefit. It's incredibly powerful. So, but again, like go through so you're up to speed on all the pieces and what they all mean, and then go back and start fresh with whatever you want to do in mind. And the first thing you want to do is validate your idea. Make sure you've got a profitable segment that you're working with. Otherwise, you need to kind of step back and go back to the drawing board. The other thing, there's some pre-work before you even get into the actual lessons of ACT. And I learned this from somebody that was in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I took a small group of people that were pretty sharp cookies. I took them through the program just to validate it for myself before I released it. And this one woman who's really deep into NLP, she came back to me as feedback and she said, the course is phenomenal. She says, the material is incredible. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know it will work. But she said, it's too much work for someone to do They're going to get lost and they're going to lose track because there's no focus of why they're doing what they're doing. She said you didn't establish that up front. If you want somebody to do a lot of work, you have to show them what the prize is at the end. You got to show them what do they get out of it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I hadn't even thought about that. And that's where I went back to drawing board and I created the freedom formula. So the freedom formula on the front has a really, really solid purpose behind it. And some of you have seen me do this at Craig's group where I walked people through the freedom formula. And it basically shows you how you can live the life you really want. And it's just math. And it's a real eye opener for a lot of people because people that are just getting started in business have probably worked their whole life and they're not used to the kind of freedom that I live on a daily basis. So when I talk about stuff, they look at it as pie in the sky. They don't think it's a reality for them. And it is. It's just math. They need to look at it differently. So the freedom formula, just in a nutshell, goes something like this. You look at your ideal life. If money were not an issue, if you had all the money in the world and money was not a problem, what would your life look like? Where would you live? What would you drive? How many times a week would you go out to eat? Would you have a live-in masseuse? Would you go on vacation every month? What would it look like? And then you basically take all that stuff and you put a monthly cost to it and you add it up. And now you've got the freedom formula number. And it should be high. It should be so high you should go, that's not even a reality, right? That's what it should come out to. And it shouldn't be part of your current reality because it's not. You probably look at it as though that's impossible. I'm a fool to even be having these thoughts go through my head. That's how it should feel. It should be a big ass number, way bigger than you think is possible. And then you go to the next step and you take that number and now you have part of your equation. And the next part of the equation is what are you selling? How much profit is in each unit? And you divide that into your number, and this is how many units that you have to move to make that work. And when you do that, you might look at it as, oh shit, there's not enough profit and I have to move too many of these. The market's not big enough to sustain my sales goals. Remember that was the first piece of the puzzle of your profitable segment? Is it big enough to sustain your sales goals? So now we're establishing what your sales goal is. You want to live that life. You know what the life costs. You know what you're selling, and now you know how many of them you have to move to do it. It's just down to simple math. And now that you know how many you have to move to do it, that's where ACT comes in. ACT builds the marketing campaign to move those units. And as soon as those units are moved, guess what? You have the ability to live that life now. Again, it's simple math, but you have to base it on reality. Is your market segment big enough to sustain that sales goal? If it's not, then you're not going to achieve that. So you might take a step back and say, what could I offer that's of more value to this market segment? Make sure they can afford it. Or what can I do in a different sector altogether to make this number work? What can I sell? Who can I sell it to so I can sell enough units to live this lifestyle? That's in essence what it comes down to. And it doesn't, and that's very simplistic. That's a very simplistic thing. If you're a really anal retentive person, you're going to drive yourself batty on this because you're going to say, well, I sell 5 things, and you're going to be trying to do all this complex math, and that's not what the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise is to show you can do this. In your business, you might have multiple income streams. That's great. Just look at each one as an opportunity to get you closer to that freedom goal number. What do I have to do? I got to move more units. I'm not moving enough units right now. And then look at all the stuff that you could potentially put your effort into. And this is going to be part of the thing next week that we do, the year-end thing. We're going to look at where could your time be spent most valuably? What can you put time in to be the most profitable? And that's where you want to focus first. And then once you've tapped that out, go to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. So you guys got to watch me do this all year long. I went from one to the next to the next to the next, just stacking them up all year long. That's all I did in 2024. And I probably worked harder than I've worked in well over a decade because I've been gliding for a long time. So shame on you guys for making me work that hard to prove a point. All right. Anything else before we wrap up today? Anybody got anything on your mind?
Yeah, John, I'm trying to figure out how to raise $30,000 that I need today
Oh, by the end of the day?
by the end of the day. They needed it yesterday. That's how bad I'm in.
Oh,
I'm trying to move money like you wouldn't believe today.
that's awesome.
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. You need XRP, do you?
No, no, I needed to. Yeah. I should have bought XRP instead of this real estate project. That's what I should have bought.
That's awesome. Oh, for anybody that's in the crypto club, we are doing a call at 2 p.m. So that's an hour and a half. So don't want to miss out on that.
Thank you, John, for working the ACT program.
Absolutely.
Hey, John, I'm not sure if I got a link to the crypto club. We talked about that.
Okay.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did and I missed it. Could you send me that?
Yeah, I'll send that for you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
Hey, John, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, will Kartra build an online ordering system for my restaurant, like in WordPress?
It's probably not the best for that.
It would be really complicated for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not really built for that type of enterprise.
What could I use to do that? I'm trying to figure out a way to do that, and I'm talking with this company that wants to charge me a monthly fee to do it, and I don't want to pay what they're asking for it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that.
Um, I'm not really sure. I know there's programs for that specifically. You might go on in WordPress, do some research to see if there's modules for that. But
There are.
And Square Up but that's a mainstream one, and I think it's a little higher on what you have to pay, but it's out there. I know a lot of restaurants are using it, but I don't know if Barbara Cunningham doesn't offer something like that, would it? Well, that's just the processing, not the.
Yeah, she does the processing. She might be a good one to ask though, because
Yeah, she probably could.
for so many companies, she could probably tell you what they're using.
Mhm.
But one thing I would recommend highly is that if it's for a restaurant, make sure that the software is tied in and integrated to these delivery services like Uber Eats and Grubhub and all of those because
What I'm trying to do, because my restaurant, I use all these external platforms, like all those ones you just mentioned. I'm trying to avoid the fees of it because they whack you 30% on all those. So I'm trying to figure out a way to integrate my own online ordering so I can avoid the fees of Grubhub and use SEO to, kind of rank above them with,
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And there's a company that does this, that they charge $500 per month to host your website and integrate everything.
Okay.
There is a way that you can work yourself into doing something like that with those people, but offer as you get your website up, put every Grubhub order you did, you put a coupon inside. Come to us directly next time and get get a discount.
Exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yes.
that promotes them to call you drive. It's like, Southwest Airlines did that to me. I don't go to bookings.com anymore because I get
Right.
going directly to Southwest.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So who do I ask? Barbara, you said?
Yeah,
Barbara Cunningham.
Barbara Cunningham she's your gal. It's Barbara at loyaltyprocessing.com is her email.
Yeah, wait a minute. Barbara.
That's scary when I know people's email right off the top of my head.
I almost was about, I was like looking through my head. Do I have her phone number still? You know? Yeah. I've passed out her phone number to like 6 people this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I refer her all the time. She's
Oh,
great.
well, John and I have a guy who was actually used to be in Craig's mastermind, but he lives here in Dallas. He's in a networking group with me, and he does payment processing now. And he's like, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you want to move from Barbara? I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I've been with her for 10 years, dude. I am not moving.
Yeah, yeah. There's people all the time soliciting me for that, and I'm just like, no, I'm very loyal. When somebody is good to me, I'm with them forever.
So she's
We,
the credit
we,
card processor, in other words, probably, right? That's what her main thing is?
yeah, processing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And John, we got close to getting her. I mean, it was too much money for her to lay out to do my wife's company, the hospital gift shop company.
Oh yeah.
That would have been like she could have retired from the processing from all that. But like she called me. She goes, Tim, the money I'd have to lay out for the equipment, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Just a
That's
shame. Hmm.
bummer deal.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
all right. Well, anyway, guys, next week, make sure you tune in. I'll actually email you. When I send the email out for next week's meeting, I'll put the document in there. That is the year-end document, and we'll go through it and I'll show you what pain looks like. It's going to be painful, that's for sure, but it'll be very revealing also. Be very, very revealing for what you need to do. It'll be like the roadmap for 2025 for you.
And John, are you doing a day after Christmas or day after New Year's? Or are you
I
breaking?
think we're going to break that. I don't think anybody's going to want to hop on the day after Christmas, and we'll give you the last week of the year off just to take a break and have some fun, and then we'll get back into it. We'll go
What's
hot
a
and heavy in 2025.
what's a day off?
That's what you're supposed to have when you get your freedom number. So we'll let you practice it. You can visualize it and
Yeah.
step into it. Step into your new reality.
This year, all right, I don't know if some of you read my post. This year, I've not seen a freedom number, but it's just, I've just had a bad year and it's okay. I'm not mad about it. And everybody's like, are you mad? I'm like, hell no. You kidding? I'm creating a self-help course going how to reinvent yourself in 90 days because I have to reinvent stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of circumstances that, is just
Life
life.
happens. Yeah.
But that's all right. We all
That's why I've got mentors. It's why I'm on this call. It's why, like this morning, I was talking to a real estate mentor. Yes, it's why you have mentors. You get on the call because I don't have it perfect. And I'm sure John doesn't tell me all of his headaches he's got, but I'm sure he's got a rough day. Pulling in that marlin on that boat is probably tough for him.
it's brutal. Yeah, absolutely. Cleaning all those fish. All right, guys, well, have a great week. We'll see you next week. And until then, keep on acting. Keep on dominating. And Craig, just hop back in here in a couple minutes.